Politicians must be some of the best deceivers that ever existed, making us believe that they actually care for children when they actually do not. What has been happening in the family courts and via the family court process system is way beyond shocking. When it comes to the matter that happened in the Northern Territory, it is only because of the image of a great Australia was tainted and the world cannot see that image that we do something about it, or we act as if we shall do something about it.
Any case of mistreatment or abuse of our children diminishes all of us. Every child in our justice system must be treated with humanity and respect at all times. At the start of this week, Australians were shocked and appalled by the images of mistreatment of children at the Dondale Youth Detention Centre in the Northern Territory.
Although the child abuse in the Northern Territory is something that cannot be tolerated, no child abuse should be tolerated, irrespective of who abuses the child and whether the father or mother abuse that child or children.
And the single most important thing each and every one of us can do as parents, especially as fathers and as mothers, is to make sure that our sons respect their mothers and their sisters.
Children in Australia get abused by their mothers on a daily basis. This abuse is perpetrated by Australian family law legislation. These abusive mothers are protected by law and are even encouraged to abuse their children. Fathers are left in a situation where they cannot protect their own children.
Good evening. A heartbroken father says he spent months begging for help before the horrific murder-suicides that claimed his young daughter's lives. Jessica and Jane Cousins were just 12 and 9 when they were killed by their own mother.
A couple of weeks ago, I received an email from my lawyer. The email was sent to my lawyer by the independent children's lawyer. The email states the following. On the 29th of November 2015, there is a serious family violence incident involving the mother, her new partner, and the father-in-law. It is reported that the mother is in the process of moving into her new partner's home with the subject children and had an argument with the father-in-law. The argument relates to unrelated events. However, this quickly escalated into serious family violence, with the father-in-law making a threatening slicing motion across his throat to the mother. The father-in-law threatened to get a spear gun. One of the persons present, it's not clear who because of the redacting, grabbed a baseball bat and swinging it to hit another person. The mother seeks to intervene with a metal rod and hits someone with it several times to get them to let go of her new partner.
I would describe myself as a feminist. As I often say, women hold up half the sky.
In the course of this affray, the mother is punched in the stomach by the father-in-law, and she is at this stage 5 months pregnant. Community services also note that the father-in-law is a person identified as causing harm to unrelated persons for sexual abuse, and that the mother intends to move into the same household as the new partner with the children. For the record, I've actually checked with a fellow MGTOW, that is, and the two of us checked if this male is on a sex offenders list, and he is not. The children of these proceedings are present but are in a vehicle for about 15 minutes while this fight happens, and so apparently do not directly see it, although they are described as being upset. In the course of the affray, one of the persons present falls through a glass coffee table and then through a window. The police and the ambulance attend the home. I find this description in particular extremely concerning, is what the independent children's lawyer states.
Good afternoon. As a nation, we have a fundamental responsibility to protect our children.
On the 14th of September 2015, there is a report that the son needed to go to the toilet when eating his breakfast. At this stage, he's 5 years old, and his mother would not allow him, and then he weed and pooed his pants. Further, the reporter suggested the mother is continuing to use cannabis and has admitted this to her.
Every child in our justice system must be treated with humanity and respect at all times.
On the 15th of September 2015, the mother was engaged in a physical argument with another adult, and the child, the daughter, attempts to intervene. The mother grabs the daughter by her hair and throws her to the ground. The mother punched the other male and then directed her anger to her daughter.
There can be no greater responsibility bestowed on an adult, a parent, a government institution than the protection of a child in their care.
On the 8th of June 2015, between 11:20pm and 12 midnight, Saturday-Sunday, the adults in the mother's house could be heard screaming, swearing and throwing things around. The police attended the address twice, once on a Saturday and once on a Sunday. Concerns were expressed by the caller about ongoing domestic violence between the mother and her partner, presumably the new partner. The mother is said to be screaming at her boyfriend to leave and is described as constantly screaming around the children.
Now, this year, we've seen a very significant shift in the way domestic violence has been reported in Australia.
A car pulled up outside the house on Sunday morning and the mother came out and yelled at the people in the car. Police attended the home 1 to 2 weeks ago and have been there a number of times. On the 10th of June 2015, there is a report that the mother smells of alcohol and is driving with the children in the car.
Massachusetts police arrested a young mom after she reportedly caused a two-car crash while driving under the influence late on Saturday. Elizabeth Fassey was allegedly driving drunk in Milford at about 9:15 p.m. with a 3-year-old child in the back seat.
She is described to use language which is rough and she swears at them and is said to say to the son, "I will punch you in the face." There is no observation of any physical abuse. The most concerning issue to the independent children's lawyer is that it appears there are reports of family violence in the mother's relationship with her new partner. It's also asserted that police attended on more than one occasion in relation to this family violence. I'm concerned about this because the children are primarily living with the mother. I'm also concerned if the father-in-law is living in the same household as the mother and the children. I'm concerned because of violence which was apparently perpetuated by the father-in-law on the 29th of November 2015, and also that he is noted as a person causing harm for sexual abuse to an unrelated person. It's not clear whether that's a child or not.
I would describe myself as a feminist. As I often say, women hold up half the sky.
In the context of the background proceedings, where there has been a background of family violence and a background of sexual abuse allegations, this seems to be extremely worrying. I would ask that the mother's representative indicate the following. Does the mother continue in a relationship with the new partner? What is the full name and date of birth of her new partner? Is the father-in-law living in the same household as the mother and the children? Please advise the full name and date of birth of the father-in-law. Please advise the full name and date of birth of the mother's new baby. I would also ask the father to indicate what his attitude is to the asthma treatment, which apparently at least one of the children is undergoing. I am not in a position to agree to final orders in this matter, as I will need to issue some additional subpoenas. I await your advices. Yours faithfully.
I would describe myself as a feminist. As I often say, women hold up half the sky.
Now that was a couple of weeks ago. A couple of days ago, I received the following email from my lawyer that was sent to my lawyer by the mother's lawyer. After receiving that email, I went to the police station to inquire about this so-called investigation, but the police explained to me that there is no investigation and that the mother must be lying. This pretty much is it. We refer to the above matter and we are instructed to advise that our client will not be providing the children for time with your client on his coming weekend, commencing Friday the 12th of August 2016. Our client has taken his position in circumstances where the children have made disclosures to the effect that the father has perpetrated physical assaults on them, and these matters are currently being investigated by police. Whilst the police investigations are ongoing and where our client is concerned about the risk to the children's physical safety whilst in your client's care, our client will not be providing the children for time with the father until further notice. Well, I've been to the police station. There is no investigation. I went to my local police station. The first officer stated after checking into the actual system, after checking in the system, he saw there is nothing at all. So I went to another police station just to double check, spoke to someone that I actually know, and he told me there is definitely nothing in the system. When Malcolm Turnbull kisses the ass of feminism, he causes the intellectual to see Malcolm in a different light. The ugly light that only reflects off of politicians. The wise and switched on see him for what he truly is. A businessman that has become a politician only to pursue his business further in order to expand his empire, but at the expense of who? Children, of course. So when politicians like Malcolm Turnbull get up and act like they care, do not believe one word that they say.
Good afternoon. As a nation, we have a fundamental responsibility to protect our children. Any case of mistreatment or abuse of our children diminishes all of us. Every child in our justice system must be treated with humanity and respect at all times.
Into the third quarter of the campaign, and Malcolm Turnbull, the centre of young female netballers, urging them to shoot for their goals.
You can do anything. There should be no limit to your ambitions. I would describe myself as a feminist. I'm a great, as I often say, women hold up half the sky.